Hi guys, it's Ria. So I do see that some of you are in here. I do want to say a big thank you to everyone who's joining in this way. Hi guys, it's Ria. So I do see that some of you are in here. I do want to say now, I do apologize for the tech issues. I'm not sure kind of what's going on today. The webinars have been giving me issues. So at least we're doing it this way instead of me canceling it. If you see a chat box, please try to type in it. I'm not sure where the chats are going. I have several different chats available for me to use. So if you can know by typing in your name so I know who's here. Otherwise, I don't have any clue who's here. If you're still having issues and I can't see that you're chatting to me, if anybody has done so, my only recommendation is to email me through the email that I just sent you guys with the updated link, and then that way everything will work properly. Now, for those of you who don't have access to a landing page, the landing page creator as of yet, you will need to create your own account. So let me just show you what that page will look like. So when you do access the landing page creator system, you have to set up your own account. So you're going to set up with your logins. You're going to be the one who's going to have you're going to let them know what email you want to use, what your password is. Please note that whatever your password is, we have absolutely no idea. The system, even though it looks similar, is going to be totally separate from Agent Locator. So whatever your password is, please make sure you write it down somewhere. So all of this information, you're going to enter in yourself. If you do not have access to the Agent Locator landing page system, please reply to that email that I sent you, and I will make sure to send that link out to you so you will be able to access this feature on your own. Now, once you do create an account, you're going to end up in this system, which is where we can actually create the landing page creator. Now, the way that the system works is as soon as you create landing pages, they will show up here. So the landing pages are underneath the website column. To create a new website is super easy. All you're going to do is click on this plus sign. Once you click on this plus sign, you will enter into this option. My recommendation as you are starting out, please do not use the tag options that you see at the top. I know you can, but I advise you not to. Have a look at the different theme templates. You can see a preview here. If you want a bigger preview, just click on the eye and it will open up the template for you. So if you scroll down, there's quite a few options. Couple of things for me to mention to you as you're browsing the templates. The layout, meaning where things are placed, that cannot be changed at all. The text can be changed. The color of the text or the color of certain items like the buttons and whatnot, that cannot be changed. So kind of however you see it is the way that it is. Now I will go ahead and just create a landing page. I am going to honestly use one that I have not done before. Now you will notice on some of I'll use this one. Now you'll notice on some of the templates, you can choose a blank one, which means all of the content is up to you, or you're going to see on the right hand side these little options. So for example, the I have buyers for your home. What that's going to do is it's going to pre-populate that text. You can always make changes to the text, but it'll pre-populate it for buyers, or in this case, sorry, for sellers. Now I want to use a basic one, so I'm just going to click on the plus sign there. Now, as soon as I click on the plus sign, you are going to see the system is going to ask me to create a subdomain. This is how you're going to access the domain or the landing page as of right now. There is an option for domain, however, that hasn't been built in yet. This system is still technically in like a beta mode, but you guys have the ability to use it just fine. Now I have to enter in a subdomain, so name it whatever you want. The wehelp.ca, there's no option to change it. It has to be there. Now, if you're buying your own domain name, you can just forward this name to the domain name that I'm sorry, vice versa. You're going to take the domain name that you buy and you're going to forward it here. Now, I will just title this, I have a buyer, and if the domain name or subdomain name rather is available, there's going to be a little check mark here. If not, there will be an X and you need to change it. So now I'm going to click on the create button. The system is going to verify if it's available. So you'll see that a pop-up came up saying great, all done. The landing page is ready. So I'm going to click on OK. If the landing page was not ready, meaning somebody else had that domain name, the system would let me know that as well. Now the landing page has been created, so I need to scroll down to the bottom and I can see the landing page is here. Now to make edits to it, I just need to click on the little notepad with the pencil. And now I am on my landing page. So there is a option here for the Google Maps. So if I want to change Google Maps, I'm just going to click on Edit Google Map. It's going to ask me where do I want to center on. So let's say I want to center on Square One. So I know Square One in Mississauga. I know what that postal code is. So I'm going to enter that in and put Mississauga. It's going to ask me what zoom level. So 17 is pretty good if you want to zoom out a little bit more. So let's say I want that to be 14. Then it's going to say, do I want to show the marker? The marker is this little red target there. So I'm going to say yes. We can enter in text for the marker. So I'm going to say, need, I'll say I have a buyer who wants to live around this area. And it's going to say, do I want the map draggable? So that means, can the person move that map around? I'll say yes. Do I want to allow a zoom? That could be yes or no. And then show map control. That will be like the little up and down stuff here. I'm going to leave it at no again. Do we want to show the scale? Again, I'll leave that to no. And then I'm going to click on Save Map Settings. Oh, the map didn't work. Let me try this instead. So learn something new, guys. For the map, you have to use the first 3 digits of the postal code, and that's it. So it's going around to that area. If you want that person to be able to zoom in, they have the ability there to zoom in or out. Totally up to them, totally up to you. Now the next thing you want to do is double click where the text is. Now you'll, sorry about that, guys. Notice where I hover, if there's a neon green line thing, that's all I do to change this text. The answer text is visible. I do have the ability in this instance to change the color. So I'm going to change this to a red. Let me go back. And I'm going to now see the text is red. Now I'm going to go back in and you're going to see where the text is here. It says enter your title. And I'm going to say have a buyer for the L5Z area. Just need a seller. And now I'm done, so I'm going to go ahead and save. So that's now been saved. Now you'll notice as I hover over the content, there is a neon green area. Click in that as well, and you'll see very, very similar to the title is how I would edit this. So I can just take this out. Have a family of 5 looking to move into their forever home. If you have 4 home with 4+ bedroom and I'm just making this up, guys, as I go along, so bear with me. So let's say enter that in, save, and my stuff is here. The next thing it's going to do is ask me which form I want to put here. And you'll notice there's a form title, so let me just add that in. And click on save. Now, I have a pet peeve. I don't like how it's so close together. So you do have the ability, if you learn coding, to put spaces and such in. If you don't know coding, and I don't expect you guys to, then you can just ask support or myself to help you out. Now, somebody's asked, can we have listings on these landing pages? You can have listings. You would layout that you're going to use. You would have to use one that's made for listings is going to be the property for sale, or your other option is the pre-construction. So if you do condos and stuff like that, I would choose the pre-construction option. Now, for any of these landing pages, especially the listings, it's not going to populate the listings on its own. You guys are really going to have to manually enter stuff in. So it does not connect, this landing page creator system does not connect whatsoever to your agent locator account in that sense, and it does not connect to the whatever board we're pulling from. Now the next thing is you want to add in a form. So there is this basic form which we refer to as the name and contact info form. It's typically just your first name, last name, email address, phone number, and then I put an additional phone number in there. But you do have the ability, which I'm going to show you later on today, to choose your own form. So you can actually create a form and have it specifying whatever search fields that you want. Totally up to you. You'll see I have a drop-down menu. You guys won't, but if you have a drop-down menu, you choose the appropriate one and then click on use this form, and you'll notice that my form has now changed. The submit button, all of this is part of the form. And again, I will be showing you shortly how to update that form. Now, you also have the option of changing a logo. Now, when you sign up for the system, you're going to put in a logo and you're going to put in your own picture. So it's automatically going to populate that information. Now, if I have the logo and I want to change the logo, so let's say I'm just going to choose anything right now. And of course, I have no idea if that'll actually pull that image. No, it didn't. Let me try another one. So let's say I'm going to use that as my image. So to edit this logo, what I'm going to do is click on the edit button. I cannot double click on this. You'll see, I don't know if you guys can hear me. I'm clicking, doesn't work. You need to click on the edit button for the logo. Once I do this, you're going to see where it says hide this. So maybe you don't want your logo on it, switch it to yes. Then it's going to ask you if somebody chooses to click on this logo, do you want something to happen? The default is do nothing. The other option is for them to go to the registration form, or it can go to another URL. So totally up to you. In this case, I'm going to do nothing. Third thing, it's going to ask me to do is to select the image. So I'm going to click where it says select image, and it is going to bring me to the image gallery. Now, yes, guys, this is very, very similar to the image gallery and how it looks in your Agent Locator website. I will tell you right now, they are not connected. So if you have previously saved images in your Agent Locator image gallery, they are not here. Now to upload a new one, you have the option to go here. So I'm going to click on your uploaded images. I'm now going to click on choose file. I'm going to find that R. Oh, one is there. I'll use the other one. So I'm going to find that R. It's now here, and I'm going to click on select image. So now you will see the logo there, but please make sure, even though the logo shows up, click on save image. So now it's saved. I can go ahead and change this information here. So my name automatically is coming up. All I do is double click and I can change that. In this case, I don't want to, but you'll see as I exited, because I already went in, it looks like this. So now I'm physically going to have to change it. So if you don't want to make any adjustments, just please leave that alone. Sales representative, I'm going to leave that alone, and then your picture is there. So if you want your picture there or not there, you're going to follow the same thing that I did with the logo. You'll notice the menu option is exactly the same. So can I hide this? Do I want it to do something? Do I want it to select an image? Now keep in mind, you can always, and this is a great way to drive traffic back to your site, if somebody clicks on one of these, have them go back to your site if you want. You can have them go directly to a specific page on your site if you want. So the options are there. Now I'm going to leave that alone. The next option you have the ability to edit is the footer. You're going to see my footer down here. So again, you'll notice I can just double click and it's going to bring me into my footer information. Now, if you want to go ahead and change the footer, please go ahead and do so. If not, I suggest that you leave it alone. Now, you do have the ability, if you change the footer, this could be a footer that's used on a global level, which means every single time in the future, it will be this specific footer that is being used. If you want the footer only to be changed on this specific landing page, there is an option where it says save for this website only. I highly suggest you use that option in that case. If you're unsure if you're going to be using this footer again, choose the save for this website only. In this case, I'm not making any changes, so I am going to leave that alone, and I'll click on cancel instead. The landing page creator is very, very easy to use, guys. You'll see here, this is almost done, this actual website. Now, one of the other things that you definitely want to do before you leave is you want to click on the site settings, which shows up in the very top left of that page. From here, you're going to see where it says enter a page title. The page title, guys, is the text that is in the Internet Browser tab. If you do not change it, it will say enter your page title. So I'm going to change this to say L5Z area home needed. Now, if you're doing things like Facebook campaigns, Google Analytics, just for this specific landing page, please put in the conversion code there. And then if you don't have anything, leave it blank and click on save. Now to see what your website's going to look like, just click on the top right hand corner where it says preview website, and then it'll show you exactly what it's going to look like. Now, does anyone have any questions with this? 1 second, guys. Okay, so I'm not seeing any questions, so I am going to go ahead and continue. Now, one of the other things I do want to show you guys that I had discussed is the forms. You guys do have the ability to create your own form. And what you're going to do is while you're logged into the landing page creator system, you can click on your forms, and this will show you all of the different forms that you have created. Now, obviously, you would only have this first one where it says first, last, email, phone. And then you would want to create a new one. So I'm going to create one where it's going to say, it's going to ask for the person's full name. I'm going to ask for either an email or a phone. So I don't require both, but I need one or the other. And then I'm going to also ask in a drop-down menu when they're interested in moving. I'll also ask how many bedrooms do they have. So I can customize this however I want. So I'm going to click where it says create new form. I'm just going to click on that plus. Yes, there will be a link because this is directly live on YouTube. So you should be able to use this specific link in the future. I'll double check and you should be able to just play it. I believe it's going to be broadcasted, for 8 hours. So you should be able to use the same link. If not, I can send you each a direct link. For those of you who are here, can you please just say hi in the chat so I know who's here and who's not, so I can add it into your file? So now it's asking me to enter in the name of the form. So I'm just going to call it the L5C seller. You can title this however you want, whatever makes sense to you. If you want to put it for a specific date, really just make it work for you. So I'm going to click on add new form. Now this is what the form looks like. Now mine is set up right now to go to my agent locator CRM system. You guys have the ability to do that, or you have the ability to receive an email. Again, choice is yours. If you want leads to be fed into the agent locator system, please use the chat or please email me and let me know, because there's going to be some ID numbers that you're going to need and you will have no idea what they are. Only agent locator support staff has access to it. Okay, now, if you make any changes to here, just click on save. Now, down here where the submit button, this is the form. And as you can see, there's absolutely nothing here. So we have to add in the form information. So what are my fields? And we do that by here. So there's the option for input, which means they type in an answer. They will select, which is that drop-down menu. There's a text area, so if there's notes or more information that you need. There's the hidden input. So this is good if you want to know the date that the lead came in, the source that the person came in, and then there's a checkbox option. Now I'm going to click on input, and you'll notice as I do input, a blank field has shown up at the bottom. Now to make changes to this field, I need to click into the field. As I do so, you're going to see options show up on the right-hand side. Now, like I said earlier, I want to do this as the full name. I'm just going to ask them what their first name and last name is. I don't want there to be two fields for it. So I'm going to choose where it says other. You can leave this as other, I'll be quite honest, but I have a habit of just switching it to try to find the appropriate thing. So I'm going to choose full name. Field name, doesn't show up anywhere. It's automatically going to give it the field name a number. You can change this if you so need to. Doesn't really make a difference, to be honest. Now the placeholder is what's going to show up in here. So I'm going to say full name. Make this a required field? Yes. Default value, meaning if the person doesn't enter something in, a default value will come up. I don't want that, so I want them to actually enter something in. So I'm going to click on update field. And you'll see it now says full name because that's what I entered in for the placeholder. Next thing I want is the contact method. So I'm going to click on input again. I'll click into that field again. I'm going to leave it as other because it really can go either or. So I'm going to leave this as other. Field name, I can leave again. A placeholder, I'm going to say enter in your phone number or email address. Make this a required field. Again, the answer is yes. Do I want to put a default value in? I'm going to say no. So I'm leaving that blank, and I'm going to do update field again. Now, the next thing I want to know is how many bedrooms the person has. So I am going to choose this as a text area. So you'll see the text area is here. I could use the input. I have options. So like that. Now let's say I decided, oh, you know what, I really do want to use the input option instead of the text. This is the text. You'll know the text area is that one because it's fairly large. So all I'm going to do is take it and drag it to the delete area. The system will ask me if I want to confirm that delete, and now I'm good to go. So now in the placeholders, I'm going to say how many bedrooms does your house have? Make this a required field. Again, I'm going to say yes. And in default value, I'm going to say 4. No, I'm going to leave that blank. And I'm going to click on update field. Now I want to know when they plan on moving. So I'm going to use the select option because that is the option where you'll see they'd have to select from the drop down. So again, I clicked into there, and then I'm going to leave it as other again. Now I put in my placeholder. When would you like to move? Or I'm going to say, when can my clients move in? Make this a required field, yes. Default value, I'm going to again leave blank. And then you can add in your options, but this time you want to add in your options one by one, and then we can separate it by commas. So I'm going to say right away, comma. Within 3 months. 3 to 9 months. And then I'm going to say in a year. Now make sure on the very last one you do not put a comma, because if there's a comma, the system is going to take it as though there's another option. So make sure the last one you don't put a comma at the end. And then I'm going to click on update field, and you'll see there is a drop-down menu there. Now the hidden information, I'll click on hidden. It'll come up as a hidden value. Again, I need to click on it to access it. So you'll notice underneath the hidden, there are different commands here, and you just choose which one you want. So I definitely want the date. I do want to know when this person has come into the system. So I'm going to put default value, date, update field. Now I want to do hidden information again. And this time I want to know the domain name or the source. So where did this lead come in? I want the domain name there. So I'm just going to highlight domain name, paste that in, and then update field. Now you have the option if you want a checkbox. The checkbox comes up as do you agree? You can make it anything that you want. I'm going to say Do I have permission to contact you? Make this a required field. I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to have it checked off by default. And then I'm going to click on update field. And now I am happy with my form. And as you can see, you can make this form be anything at all that you want. Totally up to you. So now I'm going to go ahead and click on close editor form. Everything is saved, so I can click on close. Now, as I click on close, the submit button is part of the form, so it'll be as is. You cannot change the color of the form, but you can change what it says. So if I click on it, you're going to see I can change submit. Now, I've personally have done research, guys, and submit is not a good word to use. Click here is good. Learn more. Yes. Whatever you want. I'm going to title this Sell My House and update field. Now I'm done, so I'll click on the close the editor form. You'll now see that my L5C seller form is here. It does let you know how many times it's been used. And so let's say I want to go back to my website, and I'll go back to the website that I just created. And let's say I want to use I want to use that form now. So I'm going to click on the edit button. And where it says use this form, I'm going to switch it to the L5C seller. Let me zoom in. So I'll choose L5C seller, and then I'm going to click on use this form. You'll see my form has now changed, and I'm good to go. Now, does anyone have any questions with that? Now, I will be honest, all of the different templates or landing pages, etc., they're all slightly different. The hardest one to use is this one, which is the pre-construction one, just because there's so many moving parts to it. This is what the pre-construction one looks like. This can be used for a single property, totally up to you. I prefer the style of this one. So you can put a video in. Wait for the rest of it to come up. So this is images, so you can put extra images in. There's more text. So this again would be a specific image. If you have a layout, floor plan, put that stuff in. So there's a lot of give on here. But typically anything that you hover over, if there's a green line on it, it means it's editable, which is pretty much everything. But like I said, you cannot move the layout. So I cannot drag and drop something where I want. I can't move something to the left or to the right or up or down. It is what it is. Now, I hope this answered your question with the landing page creators. Like I said, if you don't have access, you haven't created an account yet, do let me know and I will make sure to send out that email to you. If you're in the webinar and your name is not, and I don't have your name yet, like you've not typed it in, please let me know. Otherwise, I cannot send you any information. I will not be able to send you a replay. The system is not going to send you the replay on its own because I was having that technical difficulties. Thank you guys for attending. If you guys have questions and you're trying it out on your own, or you want me to go through it one-on-one with you and actually show a little bit more of the options, do let me know and I will help you out with this. These landing pages are standalone. You have the ability to make as many as you want. We don't have any limits on that whatsoever. So you're good in that sense. You can buy as many domain names as you want from GoDaddy or whatever domain register you want and forward them off. So if I were you, I would do that. Anytime you have a property, a listing, I would recommend that you create a landing page for it and drive it to the landing page. Thank you guys for attending, and I always look forward to hearing from you guys a little bit later.